Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to share with you guys a product I just picked up, and I wanted to again share it with you guys. You guys know I'm pretty low-key when it comes to how I record my videos, and anything that I get from my home, my car, or anything I just feel like discussing, I want to share with you guys. We have a lot of really great products out there, and some products not so much. So I feel like it's my duty, being that I have this awesome channel that I get to share cool products, and I work with a lot of different companies on. Anytime I even buy something, I want to let you guys know what I think about it. So the product today that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, how's that for professional, is this bad boy right here, right? So this is my new Cuisinart flat top grill. Now in the past I've had a couple different grills in my backyard. Just a little bit about my history. I'm not a chef, I'm not a professional, well, I'm not professionally anything, right? But what I am is a professional consumer. And so I have used many different grills. I've had outdoor ovens, I've had many different barbecues, and I can tell you one thing I can't stand about barbecues is that the stainless steel they use on your barbecues in the, I'd say, $200 to $300 price range, maybe $4, really just doesn't hold up. I mean, I've had many different grills. I've had hand-me-down grills, and the issue I always have with a grill is that eventually, just due to propane, your burners go out. And you can get a great deal on a grill. I mean, you can get grills for about, I think 150 bucks if you don't get stainless. Every grill I've had, with the exception of my $99 cheapy grill that was, again, a hand-me-down. See, what normally happens is I'm kind of cheap with some things, and I know that I beat up grills, and I don't cook all that much. Mainly the grill sits out here, when I'm food prepping, when I'm in those moments in my life where I'm all about the gym, I will cook in volume, right, and freeze everything. And I have to kind of be on a, right now with this whole COVID thing, the schedules are kind of weird, right? And so I'm not really doing any of that, but when I do that, I use my grill quite a bit. Now I basically use a grill for entertaining. My buddies come over, my parents come over, we have a little barbecue. In this day and age, it hasn't really got a lot of use. But my point is that the amount that I do use a grill, really, they just shouldn't wear out like they do. And I will tell you that the stainless steel used on a lot of these grills is really inferior. And I can kind of compare it to the same thing with a lot of your eBay mufflers. I'm a huge fan of eBay, don't get me wrong, but there is stainless steel and there is stainless steel. And I've had stainless steel mufflers in my car that lasted 10 years, no signs of rust. Stainless steel should not rust. The problem is some of it is just really not good quality. I can't tell you exactly why it develops rust, but it does. And so every grill that I've ever had, with the exception of one by the Holland Grill, again, it was an expensive outdoor oven, which I recently sold because it's an oven and I don't really use it. When I want to grill something, I want to get that sear. I want the grill lines, or I want to sear that flavor in. Now, this isn't a cooking show, but I can tell you, I've been doing a lot of sous vide lately, whereas you cook the food, you cook the meat in a bag, is it a freezer, not a freezer bag, a vacuum sealed bag. You cook it to temperature and you let that meat just sit. And so you get really flavorful, perfectly cooked meat every time. What you do is you sear it afterwards to make it look. It doesn't look very pretty. If you haven't checked out some of the channels, there's tons of channels out there showing you what sous vide is. It's an amazing product. I think it's something everybody should have in their kitchen. It really will make you almost like a professional chef, right? I mean, you can't really screw it up. It's great. But that's a whole other video. So anyway, one thing I always want to do is get a good sear. So what I found, again, is that grills never really last. The grill I just threw away maybe about 6 months ago, it needed 2 new burners. And by the time you're done paying for new burners, you're looking at about 40 or 50 bucks. And then a new grill is like 300, 200, 300. So it's like, well, do you really want to spend the money on a grill that's kind of starting to rust, So they're just, in my opinion, a lot of grills in that price range are just disposable. They really are. A couple years, they're done. So this go around, I wanted to try something different. Because I've been doing so much sous vide, I find that when you're done sous vide cooking, if you don't have a Searsol or a torch, I've been having pretty good luck just grilling it. We've been doing a lot of cooking at my folks. The problem is to really get a nice sear, to get that nice burned flavor, that nice char on a lot of meats, you start to cook the meat. And the whole idea in sous vide is to keep it, you cook pork, for example, I cooked pork the other day, 145. I left it in there for about 12 hours. When I pulled it out of sous vide, it was perfect. Perfectly cooked. The problem is now I want to get that nice sear to make it look nice, but then get that nice charred flavor. Problem is throwing it on the grill to get that. By the time you get the sear, you're cooking the meat, and then it becomes dried out. And the whole point of sous vide is not to dry it out, to lock in that flavor. So that's why I opted this time to get something like this. And I was at Walmart the other day. These are normally about 300 bucks. I think they're worth it for 300, but I got a killer deal. They had 3 of them sitting outside. Nobody loving it. Nobody showing it any attention. It was a little rusty, just beat up. It was like, take me home. And I knew what the price was on these things, and I know for $90 it was a killer deal. And so I picked one up, and this thing is fantastic. It's got not a cast iron, but it's got a steel cooktop. It's basically an outdoor flat grill, flat stove, right? You can cook everything on it. You can cook, well, maybe not everything, but you can cook eggs, breakfast, anything you could cook in a pan, you could cook on this. So this is fantastic for getting a perfect sear. What's nice about it is it's using something like this to get a nice sear, is that, yeah, you are starting to cook the meat when you take it out of sous vide and put it on something like this, but it's staying nice and hot. And what's happening is you're keeping all those oils, all that juice right on the tabletop, right on the cooked surface. And the meat is actually kind of frying in that. And so you're getting all that flavor, all that butter that might be dripping off that thing. You can even add a little butter, whatever your recipe calls for, however you like to cook. I love butter. So, especially cooking steak and meat. So this is fantastic. So let me just show you what it looks like. And if you're in the market, the point of this video is to let you know how much I like the product and how versatile it is. And if you're in the market for a grill, you might want to consider getting something like this. The price point's great. It looks good, and it's a great device. Easy to clean too. And based on what I can tell, I think this is going to outlast any grill I ever owned. So let's check it out. So let me just show you what you have here. So this here, you have basically 2 burners, which when on the inside it looks like one giant burner. I don't know exactly the BTU rating on this. I'll put a link in the description where you can check it out and read all about it. What you do get is a stainless steel top, and this is I hate to do this, but see this little bit of pitting here? So this is my point. This is stainless steel, and you shouldn't have stainless steel do any of that. And so I think that this is maybe a cheaper grade of stainless steel. Still, nonetheless, it's not going to fall apart, and this is something that's so lightweight and so easy to maneuver that I can easily put it right over near my overhang here and give it some protection when the winter time comes. But I went ahead and got an Amazon kit. These are the spatulas here. This is what you're going to use, something like this cooktop. It has this huge drip ring. Excuse the noise, I mean, we got the road out here. Huge drip ring with a drip tray in the back, and you know, despite the fact there's a little bit of looks like a little rust pitting, I have heavily cleaned this. This was pretty bad when I got it, and I think the reason why we have a little bit of this pitting here, it's really slight, is because this thing was sitting outside of Walmart for 6 months, and you know, nobody giving it any kind of love. You pop the cover off, and you do have a little bit of a vent on the cover there. Let me put this aside, and you have this huge 22-inch cooking surface. This is not cast iron, but it is some sort of rolled metal. Extremely heavy. I'd probably say at least 15 pounds. This does pop off, and you'll have your giant burner underneath. And you do have, if you're going to use this, I do recommend you turning both sides on at equal temperature. The idea, though, is you could separate half this to be a little bit hotter or a little bit cooler. I think with this, I just go full run on this. So I go full temperature. You have your propane tank right on the back side. It doesn't take up a lot of room, as you can see. You have a nice foldable table on the side. Obviously, when you have all this stuff on it, you're not really going to fold it down without this stuff probably falling off. I just leave it open. It's a great cooktop. You can cook eggs, you can cook breakfast, pretty much anything you can do in a pan, you can do with this. And this thing gets nice and hot and keeps its temperature, kind of like a cast iron pan. And this is very similar to a cast iron pan. It's just not cast iron, probably due to the price point. But it's fantastic. Now, I did season this. This was pretty heavily rusted when I got it. I was able to clean it and restore it, and I've seasoned this with some nice oil. Obviously, it looks brand new now, which it pretty much is. You have a paper towel holder right in the side. I did add a couple screws in the back here. They only gave you 3 hooks, or 3 little knobs here to hang your tools on. I went ahead and added just some nylon spacers, and then a couple washers and some threaded screws there, just to add a few more if I want to hang a spatula or whatever. The holes were already the tap's already in this tray, so I wanted to go ahead and use them. That's really about it, guys. I mean, pretty straightforward. The thing works fantastic. I can't tell you how happy I am with it. I wish I could show you a video of me cooking on this, but guys, if you've ever cooked in a frying pan, it's you know how to do it, right? You've seen somebody do it at some point in your life. So this is just great. Let me just show you guys what the burner looks like real quick here, and bear with me here. I don't have a film crew dedicated to my YouTube videos, but you'll see right underneath there. That you have just a huge burner, and you know, a lot of times they're called some grills have H burners or 4 like standard straight burners. This is obviously, you have 2 sides. It does have an automatic lighting system, so you basically just turn it on, press the button, which is nice. I didn't think for this price point it would have that, but it does. I'm sure these are replaceable if you do run into a problem at some point, but what I find, what really causes these burners to wear out is all your juice and fat and all the drippings constantly getting on that and just kind of cooking, and that eventually causes that to rust and wear out. This obviously looks brand new. It hasn't really been used all that much. Time will tell how long this lasts, but so far so good. I absolutely love it. I've been very happy with the meals that I've prepared on this, and it's definitely something I think that if you have been cooking on a standard barbecue, you know, why not try something different? The only downside to this is that you're not going to be able to get those beautiful looking grill lines, but you will get a nice char. You'll still get great, delicious food, and I think in some regard, you know, let's face it, guys, meat on a grill is good no matter what, right? I mean, even if it's bad, it's good. It's like pizza. But I will say, there is something to be said about really getting a great sear, locking in all that flavor, keeping the temperature of the meat at the, you know, whatever, you know, your medium well or your rare, whatever the temperature is perfect. You know, you can keep it with this, and you're just going to get that really nice sear. I'm putting sous vide aside. If you're just going to cook on it, it's just great to be able to throw some eggs on there, cook breakfast, do everything outdoors. You know, when the weather gets nice, it's so nice to be outside, and I like not stinking up the kitchen. Only downside to this that I found, I was hoping that when I catch crab, which I do quite a bit, I could go ahead and put the pot of water on here and just have it boil. Unfortunately, you would think it would get hot enough because that flame is coming in contact with the, we'll call it cast iron the cooking surface. I left it on there for a while and it just wasn't getting the temperature, so I just kind of bailed on the idea and I use a induction outdoor or indoor-outdoor burner that I bring outside, because crab, if you've never cooked crab, it really stinks the house, and I don't want to do that. So this is fantastic. You know, my burner, I can use that outside. But I was hoping you could do that with this. Now again, you can cook on it. It's going to get super hot, but for whatever reason or other, it just wasn't getting that heat through the surface into the pan to boil that water. I think if I would have left it long enough, it probably would have, but it just wasn't as efficient as just using the induction burner. So keep that in mind if you are planning on using this for something like that. Fortunately for me, it's not a big deal because I have that cooktop. But that was kind of a big reason why I bought this, because I was like, oh, I can just put my pot on and boil water on it. But I wasn't able to do that successfully. So and I had it on for a while. So not a big deal though. It still is amazing when you cook something like, especially a burger. You throw, and you look at like a lot of restaurants here, they cook on stuff like this, professional style, and they basically, you're cooking that meat right in its own juices. It's just charring up and locking in all that flavor. Again, not a professional chef, but I think this is a great product, and I encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link in the description where you pick this up, either through eBay or Amazon. It's a lot of fun using these different tools, and I think that if you are going to get one of these, go ahead and spend another $100 and get yourself a sous vide. I use the Innova immersion cooker. The price is great. It's got Bluetooth. You can get a Wi-Fi one if you want, but it is awesome. I can't tell you. You can buy the cheapest piece of meat, throw it in there, cook it. You know, and I cook generally steak or roast to like 129. Leave it in there for 24 hours. Pull it out when you're ready. You don't have to worry about it. You can leave it in there. You're not going to overcook it. It is just fantastic. So let me know if I can help you guys in any way. Let me know if you guys have any other questions or any questions about this awesome grill. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. You know, a lot of times when I put up these videos about products that, you know, people see and like my videos on the hot tub, and believe it or not, as big as YouTube is, sometimes there isn't information on certain things out there. So those videos have been very popular. The smoker video I put up, the hot tub video, gives people some ideas on what to expect with those products, and I hope that this is another video that could help other people if you're in the market for buying something like this. I love it. So a few other brands out there. There's the Blackstone, which seems to be, I never heard about these things until like the last year. Blackstone has many different models. They're a lot bigger. This is one of the few I've seen that's very small, compact, and round. So it's great. I mean, if you got a small area, like my backyard obviously isn't enormous. It's got room. I could put a bigger grill, but I like to be able to tuck this away and have it not be in the way. My Holland grill is nice and as good quality as that was. I just never used it. I sold it to a guy who actually is going to make a charcoal smoker out of it. That was an amazing grill. The quality of the stainless was unbelievable with that. No rust, no nothing, and that was 20 years old. So, you know, some regard, you know, sometimes you do get what you pay for. Just depends on the product. It's not the same with everything, but I do believe in this product, and I think you guys will really like it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the content, do subscribe to the channel. I'm about to hook up some steak right now. So you guys have a good week and take care.